Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Storyteller's Row. It's me, David, your old friend and pal, and Story Scripted. Now, I wanted to explain to you a few things before we move on about our study of Star Wars as a potential adventure. First off, let's review some things. We have our 7-point plot structure. 7-point plot structure has the hook, plot turn 1, pinch 1, midpoint, pinch 2, plot turn 2, and resolution. We've already discussed that we start with our resolution so we know where everybody's supposed to end up. And that helps us with quite a bit about where everybody should start, so we sort of create our hook automatically by the opposite of what the resolution is. It's a really simple trick. Plot turn 1 is where our hero sort of, for the first time, recognizes there's something special about them. Luke Skywalker realizes he has the Force in him and he gets a really cool lightsaber. Pinch 1 is just after that. It's sort of our hero's point of no return and their moment of call to action. Midpoint is where our heroes transfer from being externally motivated and stuff is happening to me, and start to react and decide they're going to turn the tables and fight back. Pinch 2 is where we really sharpen our teeth against our heroes and make sure that all hope is absolutely lost. They don't seem to have anything going for them. We're really on a severe cliffhanger here, and that leads us all the way up to plot turn 2, where our hero gets the last piece of the puzzle they need. Luke finds out the Force has been within him all the time. He's relying on navigation systems instead of the Force. Use the Force. Boom. Resolution. Blow up the Death Star. And if you see, I already sort of plotted a roller coaster of procedural beat points. To give you an example of the fact that there's only really 21 beats in the Star Wars movie, and they all fit on one piece of graph paper, that's the entire Star Wars movie right there. No dialogue or anything. We don't worry about that right now. We're just worried about the story structure. Our actors will create dialogue. I'm not worried about dialogue. I'm not writing a novel. I'm writing a screenplay that's going to be turned into a D&D adventure and left open enough so that we can have our players contribute to it appropriately. We're going to turn a movie concept into a D&D concept. Watch. Okay, so what's important? We have our 21 beats. Let me explain them to you. All right, so beat number 1 is the setup. Star Wars. Space. We're outside. There's stars everywhere. That's easy. You just kind of point your camera up and go, ooh, okay. Well, that's cheap. No problem. We have 2 spaceships. Uh-oh. That's going to cost us money. All right, well, producers are listening, but set people and prop people are listening too. Okay, so we got 2 starships. Okay, whatever. Set number 1, 2 starships. Got it. Check. Next, we have everybody coming in and talking about stuff, but really in your pitch meeting, you're only going to show them this little piece of paper with your little pitch points at best. So let's start with that. Okay. Remember, we were talking about hope and fear cycles, right? That's where we're cycling up and down. And what we have is we have what's called procedural beats and dramatic beats, which I've already explained. Procedural being outside to the heroes and usually tied into the plot goals and, obstacles relating to the plot goals. Dramatic beats are internal to the character and show us a little bit of development. Well, when we plot Star Wars Episode 4 out, it's mostly procedural, which means it's an action-adventure story, and the pacing is supposed to go boom, da, da, da. Oh, ah. Real, it's supposed to be really quickly paced. So it was only 2 hours and 1 minute, and in all that time, they tied together really nicely a whole bunch of things. So let's follow the example. First beat is basically procedural. It's a sort of, we're getting on the ride. We're getting on a roller coaster. We see the long script a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. The second beat, which is kind of important, is a procedural beat, right? Because it's external to the plot. Princess Leia, the head of the rebellion, gets captured. Oh, we're scared. But we have an upbeat of hope because the droids escape. The droids escaping is actually beat 3. So Leia being captured is beat 2. Droids escaping in the pod with the plans is beat 3. And then if we get to the Tatooine, right, we have another set we have to build. Great us, right? Yay. So we look at that. And on Tatooine, they have a landed ship, and the droids are walking away, and we see the foreshadowing of Jawas, and then the droids get captured. So that takes us from beats 4 and 5, where the droids get captured, to our next little movement, beat 6. Luke has discovered that Leia exists, and he wants to save her, obviously. Beat 7 is sort of another moment where R2 goes off on his own to find Obi-Wan. Stubborn little thing. 8, we meet Ben. Hey, lots of great fun things, right? We meet Ben. Ben's awesome. Ben tells us all sorts of cool things. And wait a minute, beat 9. This, by the way, beat 9 out of 21 beats. Okay, so we have 21 beats. Let's call it 22. So at beat 11, roughly, we should be roughly at our midpoint. So let's look at this beat 9. This is very important. Beat 9 is our plot point number 1, our plot turn number 1, where Luke has realized that he's a Jedi, right? And it's going to be, way, we're up on that. And then he has his quick, right, introduction to pinch 1. This is where we put the stranglehold around Luke, and he's really hosed, right? So at beat 10, it starts raining crap down on him, and what we have is, well, his parents, not his parents, his uncle and his aunt are dead, and we never really attached to them. It's an action story after all, and this is just really his moment of I can't go back, but he has a dramatic sort of, I'm gonna go kick some ass, but I don't have enough strength yet. Beat 11, there's a bolo out, the Empire, you can't return home. That's his turning point, right? He cannot really return home, okay? He's never gonna make it home. And he has to go meet up with Han Solo. So beat 12, his bounty escalates because he met with Han Solo. They get in the Millennium Falcon, and boom, they're gone. Now, beat 13. Okay, we're going to call beat 12 roughly meet 12, meet 13. That's when we're starting to get into our midpoint now. Okay, so Leia, Princess Leia, remember her? She's captured, right? She gives up the location of the rebel base. Uh-oh. And then they blow up her home planet. Crap. Our heroes arrive. There's got a question now. The asteroids? Why are there asteroids? Uh-oh. Beat 14. They're captured by the Death Star. Uh-oh. Beat 15. We sneak in because we con some guards to give us their uniforms by accident. Shh. I won't say nothing. Beat 16. We found where the princess is. We're going to go rescue her. Yippee-ki-yay. Beat 17. We're discovered. We have to escape. Oh no, oh no. 18. We escape, but we're being tracked. Beat 19. We've met the rebels. At beat 19 now, we're at the midpoint and getting close to pinch 2. And of course, by this time, we've met our allies. and there's a lot of stuff going on. So what happened in the upbeat towards pinch 2? Well, our mentor died. Obi-Wan, he got killed while we were back in the Death Star and escaping and everything. Oh man, bad for everybody, right? But hey, it's okay. We got the plans to the Death Star and the sacrifices with it, because we're going to blow that thing up. So let's see, where are we? Beat 19, found a weakness in the Death Star. Beat 20. Uh-oh. We're at the height of our pinch point and close to plot turn 2. The height of our pinch point, Vader is about to kill Luke. Han Solo returns, dings the TIE fighter that Vader is riding in. He tumbles away and survives. Possible sequel, we don't know. It's all on you, kid. Oh no, my targeting systems are out and everything. Now we get to our plot turn, the last thing that Luke needs to make it successful. And he hears Obi-Wan's voice guiding him and saying, just use your feelings. So Luke turns off all navigational systems, uses his feelings, and boom! Beat 21, Death Star blows up. Bang! Now we could add a couple of beats in there, 22 and 23 and 24 if we wanted to even it out so our midpoint falls right at beat 12. There are a couple beats we could put in there. It's not going to really ruin us one way or the other. But to be honest, on the other side of the equation, got like 21 really kind of solid moments on sticky notes somewhere or one piece of paper. And we're sitting there going, so what do you think of our movie? How's our budget? What's our story? Blank, blank, blank. Now, let's do something even more exciting. Let's do something really fantastic. Let's learn how to turn Star Wars from a movie script where we're pretty much linearly driven all the way to the end goal, where we have to blow up the Death Star, and we only have a limited amount of time. We only have 2 hours of game time to get it done, and we're at a gaming convention, and everybody is professional actors or players or whatever, because everybody's going to stay in character and do exactly what they're supposed to do at the exact moment and everything else, because that's exactly how D&D goes every single time at your table. Notice how I'm bobbing my head like one of them baubles over in the, like on the back of a car. Yeah? It never goes that way. Players get on their cell phones, people walk away, somebody can't show up because they have a job interview, all sorts of things. But use my techniques and tricks. It won't matter. Honest. I promise. So I hope you've all learned something about the plot hook, the 21, the 7, not the plot hook, the 7-point plot structure. A little bit about beats, a basic understanding that we have now an emotional sort of ride for our roller coaster, right? We can connect these things. We have procedural, mostly external to the heroes in this particular story. So it's mostly going to be an externally dramatic, sort of on the edge of your seat, lots of obstacles, lots of maybe meeting new people and getting new gear or getting new superpowers or something like that, and that kind of thing. So there's not going to be a lot of character arcs or internal character development, which makes it great for a first adventure, because in the first adventure we don't know who our players are or what our players are going to do or how they're going to sort of engage our plot line. So it really makes for a good starting adventure, right? We could keep it down at level 1 easy, because at level 1 we're all kind of puds anyway. So let's start with that for our heroes, right? We got a low point we can start them at, and we've already figured that part out. That's great. Our villain, we'll get into that in a minute. That's our domain, the NPCs. We'll worry about those later. We'll create them. Meanwhile, we'll leave the player characters, our protagonists, up to the players. But we'll give them certain parameters, right, based on the world we're going to create on some of the information we've discovered. And that's our next video. Meantime, May all your die rolls stay blessed. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you.